Is Trump too scared to restart the Iran war after Xi's warning? Is Israel pushing for new strikes while Trump stays hesitant after his Beijing visit?
We did discuss Iran. We feel very similar to Iran. We want that to end. We don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. We want the straits open.
Will Trump let Xi decide Iran's future after being intimidated on Taiwan? Israeli media say Donald Trump may make final decisions on Iran's fate only after he returns from his trip to China. Israel's public broadcaster Khan reported Trump could choose between resuming military action or maintaining an extended blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, depending on developments after the visit. Khan cited sources saying senior Israeli military officials and US CENTCOM held talks in recent days to coordinate responses and assess options in the region. According to the report, Israeli authorities have continued to press for a return to military operations against Iran as one possible course of action. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has repeatedly signaled support for renewed action against Tehran, reinforcing pressure inside Israel for a robust response. Haaretz reported that the possibility of fresh fighting was discussed by officials, although no special public alert was issued at the time. These reports surfaced while Trump conducted high-stakes talks with Xi Jinping in Beijing, underscoring the wider diplomatic context of the crisis. After the meeting, Trump said he and Xi discussed Iran during their closed-door session, indicating the issue was a key topic of bilateral talks. The US president told Reuters that both sides agreed Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, framing a shared objective between Washington and Beijing. Trump also said both leaders want the straits open, expressing a common interest in restoring free passage through the Strait of Hormuz. Those remarks came as global energy markets remain tense over Iran's role in controlling access to the Hormuz shipping route and the risk of further disruption.
This has been an incredible visit. I think a lot of good has come of it. We've made some fantastic trade deals, great for both countries. He's a man I respect greatly. Become really a friend. We've known each other now 11 years, almost 12 years. That's a long time. And we've settled a lot of different problems that other people wouldn't have been able to settle. And the relationship is a very strong one. We did discuss Iran. We feel very similar to Iran. We want that to end. We don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. We want the straits open. We're closing it now. They closed it, and we closed it on top of them. But we want the straits open, and we want them to get it ended because it's a crazy thing. They're a little bit crazy, and it's no good. Can't have it. They cannot have a nuclear weapon.
A Chinese supertanker carrying nearly 2 million barrels of Iraqi crude passed through the Strait of Hormuz on May 13th. Ship tracking data from LSEG and PLR showed the very large crude carrier Yuan Hua moving past Iran's Larak Island, one of the key reference points inside the strait. The massive carrier was seen on the eastern side of the strait, heading south toward Asia, according to reports citing the tracking data and Reuters monitoring. If the voyage is completed, it would mark the third Chinese-flagged oil tanker to pass through the Strait of Hormuz since February 28th, a sign that Beijing is cautiously re-engaging in Gulf oil shipping. The Yuan Hua is owned by COSCO Shipping Energy Transportation's Hainan unit, part of China's state-linked shipping and energy logistics network. Tracking data indicate the ship loaded Basra medium crude at Iraq's Basra terminal in early March, staying in the Persian Gulf for several weeks before its latest move. The tanker had remained stranded inside the Persian Gulf for weeks, reflecting the earlier reluctance of major carriers to transit the strait during the peak of the Iran-related confrontation. Two other China-flagged VLCCs, Cospel Lake and He Rong Ha, exited the Strait of Hormuz on April 11th, suggesting a phased, low-profile return of Chinese vessels. Earlier, a Chinese-flagged tanker was attacked in the Strait of Hormuz, prompting a sharp diplomatic and security policy response from Beijing as it sought to protect its energy supply interests. China voiced deep concern after a Chinese-linked tanker was attacked near the Strait of Hormuz on May 4th, amid already elevated tensions in the region. Beijing confirmed that Chinese nationals were aboard the vessel at the time of the incident, according to official statements cited in local and international media reports. China said no crew casualties had been reported following the attack, stressing that all personnel were accounted for despite damage to the ship. The vessel came under attack near the United Arab Emirates coast, close to Mina Sakr, as tensions between Iran and the United States soared in the Gulf waters. Chinese media reported that this was the first known attack on a Chinese oil tanker since the Iran-US conflict and related war in the region began, highlighting the incident's significance for Beijing. The ship is believed to be the Marshall Islands flag products and chemical tanker JV Innovation, according to maritime security sources cited by Reuters and other outlets. The vessel was marked China owner and crew on its hull at the time of the attack, images and reports from the scene indicated. Maritime security sources said the vessel reported a fire on its deck following the incident and issued distress alerts to nearby ships. Crew members reportedly believed the ship was hit by shells or possibly a drone, though investigators have not yet confirmed the exact weapon used. JV Innovation's chief engineer has said it remains unclear who attacked the vessel, underscoring the ongoing uncertainty over attribution and responsibility. This stance comes as China remains one of the biggest buyers of sanctioned Iranian oil exports, making uninterrupted access through Hormuz vital to its energy supplies.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.